So you're thinking of moving to Columbia, South Carolina. Well, hold up just a minute and pump those brakes a little bit. I want to make sure you know the truth about certain things that a lot of people don't think about when they are moving right here to Columbia. Because Columbia might look like that charming, friendly, southern city where everybody waves at you. But under all that hospitality, we actually have blistering summers, mosquitoes the size of helicopters sometimes. Oh, and if you think I'm moving south for the weather, bless your heart, because you might not be ready yet. But listen, stay with me all the way to the end, because even after I scare the mess out of you with all the reasons not to move here, I'm then going to tell you the reason everybody does move here anyway, and why Columbia somehow still manages to steal people's hearts. Welcome to the Living in Columbia, South Carolina channel. I'm your local realtor, Chad Dorman, born and raised, been here all my life, here to give you all the details that you can get here. A little over caffeinated, but still here for the most part. Now today, I'm actually not going to give you that Chamber of Commerce sales pitch about Columbia, which I usually don't anyway, but I'm going to give you more of the real deal. I sell houses every single day, that type of truth with what we're talking about. So if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, click that notification bell, because I drop relocation videos like this every single week, whether it's Columbia, Lexington, Irmo, Chapin, Lake Murray, Northeast, Blythewood, any of those spots that you're probably Googling at 2 a.m. Give me comments. Every single day I get to help people just like you guys, and I love it. So go ahead, give me a call, email, text, better yet, get on a Zoom call where I can talk to you face to face, share my screen, get you on a search, and let's get you moved here or find out exactly where you want to be at. So let's go ahead and dive in, and we're going to start with the one thing that Columbia is famous for. Number one, Columbia's heat can be downright disrespectful. You ever open the oven when you're cooking and it's about 425 degrees and that blast of heat hits you straight in the face? That's what it's like a lot of times in the summers here. You got to open your car door and it's literally that hot when you get in that you can hardly even sit in it when you have leather seats. Not even joking, that is a tagline I've seen on Facebook a number of times. July averages about 95 degrees. And we have about, during the entire year, on average, we have about 70 plus days of temperatures over 90 degrees. Now in like 2019, we actually had 134 days of 90 plus degree weather. When you couple it with the humidity, it's like you're wearing a wet blanket on you when you're out there. You can walk out in the morning and it's 90% humidity. And even as it cools off during the day with the humidity, it'll go down to about 50-60%. 90% at 7 in the morning, and sometimes that humidity stays around 80-90%. That can be even more hot than that typical dry heat that you find out west. And people just don't like it because right when they walk out of an air-conditioned house, their glasses fog up automatically, or when they get out of their car, their sunglasses fog up. Now on the other side of that too, that heat can bring a lot of flooding during the summer. Also, we have torrential downpours a lot of times. Columbia averages about 45 inches of rain per year. In 2015, we had what they labeled as a 1 in 1,000 year flood. Dams broke, highways washed out, the city's entire water system collapsed. How do you combat that here? Many people think because we have the rivers and stuff, there are places in the flood zone. Majority of places are not. And I've told you before, 95% of people move to the suburbs, not just downtown Columbia where those rivers are. And majority of those areas that are in the suburbs are not in the flood zone. But of course, those are things that you have me as a realtor for. So call me and let's set up that meeting, and I can make sure you know that you're not in the flood zone. You're in a good place where you're not going to let that happen. And we do have hurricanes, we do have different things, and those hurricanes can bring incredible rains and stuff. So just pack your umbrella. but it's not near as bad right here in the Midlands, and that's the beauty of the location of being right here in the middle. Number 2, we really don't have real seasons. If you're coming from New York, New Jersey, Chicago, anywhere with real seasons, prepare yourself. Columbia has pretty much 2 seasons, summer and not summer, or waiting for summer. Spring happens on a Tuesday, fall shows up for 48 hours then disappears. Winter, you might wear shorts on Christmas, or we might get freezing rain and shut the whole city down because nobody has any kind of snow tires or anything like that. Mother Nature here is chaotic. You'll run your AC and your heat in the same week. Many people say if you don't like the weather here in South Carolina, wait 24 hours. It will change. So yes, we have 4 to 5 seasons of summer, it feels like. 2 months of fall, 2 months of spring, and maybe a month or 2 of winter, depending on the winter. I personally am one of the most hot-natured people you will ever meet. I wear short sleeves year-round. I really don't feel like having to carry my jacket around when it gets warmer during the day, because many times it's nice and cool. That's the kind of weather you can expect here. But at least the humidity's not here right now. But then again, it can be right back up at the 70s in December, and you have to deal with the humidity when you walk out. It's some of the weirdest weather around. So when I say it's real weird as far as the seasons go, it can be different. But Florida can be even worse, and you don't have any winter at all. A lot of people like those mild winters in everything that you're doing. It just depends what you like. Number 3, the pollen here in Columbia and all of South Carolina pretty much, but Columbia is one of the worst. It should be illegal. Let me introduce you to a local phenomenon called the pollening. They labeled this, and it's because right toward the end of March, typically begins in February, but the end of March toward April is when it is the worst. Every spring, Columbia gets buried, and I mean buried, in yellow pine pollen. Your car, your porch, your dog, your lungs, everything turns yellow. We regularly rank among the top 20 worst allergy cities in the US. Matter of fact, they voted us like number 14 one year. Columbia now, not just South Carolina, but Columbia, one of the worst cities as far as going to for allergies during that time. You don't need a car wash. You need windshield wipers for your entire house. For you go wash your car, you come back the next day, next morning you wake up, it's yellow again. All you can do is rinse it off, hope for a rain. I never wash my car when it comes up. Now, what's the upside of all that pollen? Once the pollening subsides, Columbia in late April and May is gorgeous. The azaleas, the dogwoods, the crepe myrtles, they bloom like crazy. The city is actually really beautiful and green. All that pollen is basically plant love in the air after all. The trick is surviving those few weeks of sneeze fest. If you move here and wake up one spring day to the yellow world, don't panic. It's normal. Stock up on tissues and know that this too shall pass. And remember, you're not alone. Pretty much the entire city is sneezing with you. Misery does love company, right? Let's head on to the next one, the wildlife. Number 4, bugs and the different animals that are right here in the Midlands of Columbia, South Carolina. Do you like nature? Good, because in Columbia, nature actually likes you back. Mosquitoes, they're basically the state bird. We're one of the top mosquito cities in America. I mean, when I say that, I think we were labeled number 41 in 2025. And of course, some people, it's a blood type thing. You may have, I'll be standing by someone right beside them. They're getting eaten up by mosquitoes and I'm not. I have O positive blood, but you just don't know. And when they really hit you is after rains, your body's of water. So pay attention to that. We do have bug spray. Palmetto bugs, these are not regular roaches, they fly. Every local has had that experience where they went on their carport, their garage, in their kitchen, and they turn the lights on and they get surprised by a flying palmetto bug. We call them palmetto bugs. They're basically big cockroaches. And the good part is they're easy to kill. You can spray for them. It's not a unclean type thing. If you find one in your house, they're just everywhere. It's the environment that is here. Fire ants. If you grow up, I grew up going barefooted as of like April or May around here. If you grow up going barefooted, you're gonna step in a fire ant bed eventually. The remedy that has helped me more than any other one, because when you step in it barefooted, it's gonna eat you up and you're gonna have whelps on your feet. Get a bottle of Sea Breeze, pour it into a spray bottle and spray your foot. Believe it or not, the itching goes away and it doesn't swell near as much. But just be careful when you're talking about those fire ants. I grew up with them. Snakes. We have 38 species of snakes. 6 are venomous. The most common one people see is a copperhead. Majority of the time, the bite is not fatal, but get yourself to a hospital anyway just to have it looked at. They're mostly in wood piles, things like that. As long as I have been here in Columbia, South Carolina, me personally, I've maybe seen 2 or 3 copperheads, if that, and I go running all the time and out in the woods all the time. Mostly what I see is non-venomous snakes, not those. But we do have diamondbacks, canebrake rattlesnakes. We do have a coral snake. You very rarely see those though. But there are snakes out there that we do have that are venomous. And water moccasin around waters, rivers, swamps, things like that, those are out there as well. Gators, we do have gators. Even 20 minutes from downtown in Congaree National Park over here, we have gators. They're not necessarily in Lake Murray or even in the Saluda River. It's just too cold. But as a whole, we do have a good population of them here. We do not have a lot of attacks, and most of the fatalities is that the gator hits the dog. Make sure with your pets that you're watching that as well. Deer, they're beautiful, but they're not so pretty when they jump in front of your car at 60 miles an hour. Be careful, keep your eye on them. Not just the first one you see, a lot of times it's the second or third one that gets you that's passing and behind them. South Carolina is in the top 15 in deer collisions nationwide. We do have a number of them out there. And there are other critters that are out there too. Raccoons, the armadillos are here now. The possums, there's all kinds of critters here. So make sure that, I just want to warn you, my son is a wildlife biologist, so I have foremost authority on him. My best friend is the same thing. If you want more information, give me a call, shoot me a text. I'll be glad to answer anything you have on the wildlife. Yes, there's a lot of stuff out here, but not rare that you have that many encounters with them. Number 5, traffic. If you're local, people complain about traffic all the time, but traffic's really not that bad. But the drivers, goodness knows, somebody needs to help us out. Here's the good news. Columbia has some of the shortest commute times in the entire country. It is built around the interstate from I-95, a little ways from here, I-26, I-20, I-77, all of those. It's a literal thoroughway, and we're centrally located. Commute times 15 to 17 minutes on average here. You can get to downtown Columbia or wherever you need to be. You can get to it fairly quick. It's not that bad at all. The bad news, some of these drivers drive like they learned using Mario Kart. You know, like kids used to play on the Wii all the time. It's horrible. We're consistently ranked among the top 3 worst driving states in all of America. We are 61% higher on average as far as fatalities, 61% higher than the national average. People speed, they tailgate, they ignore signals. Then they'll randomly stop in the middle of the road to be polite. Nobody's gonna stop in the middle of the road. I was in an accident because of that. The left lane stopped, letting me turn in to Kroger. I, like an idiot, went, and of course the right lane, somebody speeding down, through a 270. My dog was in the back seat. He must have been in the perfect center of the car, because as my car went around, he literally stayed in one spot the entire time. But yes, they're not that great of drivers here. For everything that Columbia has coming to it and being the center, being around so many I-26, I-20, all of that as well, all of that is getting an upgrade with the Crossroads project here in the Midlands. And they are widening everything. They are redoing Malfunction Junction, which is where a lot of people end up with wrecks also. Matter of fact, most police are not even allowed to pull somebody in Malfunction Junction. It is slowly getting done. When will the Crossroads project be done fully? Probably sometime around 2030 or shortly thereafter. So we still have a little bit, but the traffic itself is not that bad. And once again, get on that Zoom call. I will share my screen with you and I will show you different suburbs that you're wanting to go to. I will show you ways around that traffic, what the best ways are. The locals definitely know. And especially, goodness knows, if it freezes or we get freezing rain, which we get sometimes, the good part about that is usually even after it snows, sleets, or anything like that, a day or two later, it's the temperature's back up in the 60s or 70s and it all melts. But just be careful of the drivers when you get here. Number 6 is sort of twofold. I don't even know why I get this complaint sometimes, but people say people are almost too nice and that we have so many transplants coming in messing it up. Well, everybody says that as far as the transplants that come in, and they say that mess it up. But the people here, they will wave to you. They'll talk to you in grocery lines. They'll help you load your groceries, believe it or not. They say, yes, ma'am, and yes, sir, or Mr. Jones, Miss Smith. If you're from up north, you may think every person who smiles at you is trying to sell you something or possibly even rob you, but they are not. It is just being Southern. All these transplants, though, that are coming in, why are they coming in? Why do we get so many transplants? We have more people coming in here than is leaving. In the last 5 years, we are one of the top 5 states people are moving to all the time. I'm gonna actually do a South Carolina versus Texas, because Texas has been right with us that people are moving to as well. Well, you're talking about jobs and military. Fort Jackson, people come here. The University of South Carolina has huge draws. We have a lot of jobs, about 6,000 jobs with the University of South Carolina, but students are coming here, loving it, and then staying here. You get it from there, retirement and the lifestyle, that slower lifestyle, people are doing it. Cost of living. People know their dollar and their money goes a lot further here. South Carolina's growth is largely in migration. What this means is people moving in far outweigh those people moving out. There is a natural increase. Over 203,000 more people moved into South Carolina in 2023 than moved out. That's like adding a city bigger than Columbia in 1 year, just spread around. It just changes your culture a little bit. People are changing to that Southern culture, not the other way around. Most people are conforming and realizing that people are just trying to be nice here. And we learned during COVID times, when everybody had to be by themselves, stay in their house, 6 foot between everybody, people learned people need people, and they actually enjoy the communication and not being on a Zoom call all the time. Except if you're talking to me. If you're moving from out of state, get on that Zoom call, schedule it with me, and let's talk. Number 7, the food scene. The food scene's good, but don't expect Michelin star restaurants. People talk about 5-star restaurants. Well, what they don't realize is Michelin goes up only to 3 stars. You have 1, 2, and 3 stars. Now in the state of South Carolina, we've probably got 2, 3, 4 Michelin restaurants, and most of them are in Charleston. There's 1 in Greenville, and that's it. So if you're coming here to Columbia, don't expect it. We have amazing Southern food. Most people learn that it's yellow gold barbecue here versus ketchup, even though I like ketchup vinegar based better myself. But we do have places like Hall's Chop House, Ruth Chris Steakhouse, Motor Supply, Divina Rosa, They are solid spots. I could even tell you more. Pasta Frescas, Mr. Friendly's, different places that got all kinds of Southern comfort food. There's fine dining. There's Black Rooster, which has you can sit out on the porch and look over the Columbia skyline, that little bit of skyline that we have. So there's a lot, but Columbia is not Charleston. We don't have any Michelin stars. Most kitchens close by 9 or 10 p.m. So if you want late night gourmet, it might just be Waffle House waiting for you. Let me know and I'll tell you even better things. I've talked to a lot of people from Jersey lately. Had one closed just yesterday from Jersey. They were asking me where to eat as well. Number 8, nightlife and pro sports are limited at best. If you're expecting Miami, Nashville, or even Charlotte nightlife, Charlotte's only about an hour and a half away. You might have to go there. So lower your expectations a little bit. We do have 5 Points, which are the college bars. Saluta's Fine Dining's out there, which is awesome. St. Patty's Festival in 5 Points is incredible, even though you got to pay like $45 just to get into it. You've got your ones that stay open a little bit later. They're in 5 Points. The Vista has some great restaurants. Motor Supply's telling you about. Blue Marlin. It's got a few lounges, breweries. They're very chill, but not too wild. And everything else closes by 2 a.m. And South Carolina has 0 major sports league teams. We have a 1A baseball team of the Fireflies, and they do all kinds of stuff all the time throughout the year and have a huge Christmas lights thing coming up here in December. But our pro team is basically the USC Gamecocks. And thankfully, we do tailgate like pros. Most resources, we're the number 8 college town in the US. So people love coming down here and enjoying that USC lifestyle. We tailgate like nobody else. Taxes. Now, this is about things I need you to know about Columbia, South Carolina. It's not what's good. I'm turning a lot of it into good, but property taxes are awesome here. They're actually really good. They're some of the lowest in America if you're owner occupied. Now, if you're an investor or you have a second house that's a vacation home here or whatever, or Airbnb, or you're renting, make sure you know we average property taxes on houses average about $1,500, somewhere between $1,500 and $2,000 a year. Yes, I said that, a year. If it is not owner occupied, it can be anywhere from 3 to 5 times that much. You have to figure that in. Many investors come here and I hear horror stories that they think they're making this mountain of money and then the tax hit. And all of a sudden they're not making near as much because it's 3 to 5 times higher than what it would have been if they were owner occupied and their realtor didn't tell them that. Also, car tax. Every year, South Carolina sends you a little love letter telling you to pay several $100s for the privilege of owning a car. If you have a lot of cars, that can be pretty cumbersome and it can add up, especially if you have a lot of new, higher expensive cars. It could be $700 to $1,000 or even a hair higher per year, and that is per vehicle. People do not go that, like in Florida, there's no property taxes. If you own a boat on Lake Murray, property taxes. You will have to pay those. It's the Southern way of reminding you, welcome here into Columbia, South Carolina, but you also got to pay us. If you add it all up, when you talk about cost of living, price of house, taxes, utilities, everything, those car taxes, boat taxes, property taxes like that are very minute. They really don't include as much as you think they are, and you're still saving when you move here, which is why so many people are retiring here. But I would not be doing my job if I didn't tell you about them, because a lot of people, they will surprise. Number 10, speaking of cars, many people don't think, we do not have a public transit system that is like a lot of the big cities, major metros. We don't have subways, we don't have trains. We do have Uber and we do have taxis, but they're not cheap at all. And just for a short ride, you're gonna pay a good bit. You're gonna have to learn how to drive if you're coming here. or either Uber, one or the two. I've had people come here from up north and they're like, if I'm traveling more than 10, 15 minutes, I'm calling an Uber. And so I want to live close to where I work. I want to live close to a neighborhood where I can be right there at Kroger, at Publix, at wherever it might be. I want to be in the middle and in the thick of things. Make sure you know our bus system might drop by one stop once an hour. If you're doing that and it doesn't reach as far as a lot of the suburbs. So make sure you check into that stuff. If you are here in Columbia, South Carolina, or just about anywhere in South Carolina, make sure that you know you will most likely need a car to get around. It is not like New York where people go without even having a license a lot of times. The final bit, what you really need to know after all of this, why do people still move here? Okay, after all this, why is Columbia still booming? Why is South Carolina one of the top places people move in the entire nation? Year after year. And why do people stay? Here's the truth. The cost of living's fantastic. The housing is affordable. The suburbs, right here, Lexington, Irmo, Chapin, Blythewood, West Columbia, right on down the line, they're at Northeast area. They're incredible and people are moving there. It checks all their boxes and they can afford it when they couldn't in the bigger metro areas. The people truly are kind. You get lakes, you get rivers, you get trails, you get beaches, you get mountains just within 2 hours. If you don't like the wildlife and you don't like this type of stuff, you're gonna be in your house a good bit. People move here for that slower lifestyle, but they enjoy it too. The bugs and stuff, again, those encounters are not as much as you think, but I would be remiss if I did not mention them to you. We have stability here, government, healthcare, USC, Fort Jackson, all of those, and many people are moving here just so that they can work from home. They're doing tech jobs and stuff, but they're working from home and they come here because their money will take them that much further. Life here just feels livable. It's not perfect, but it's real. It's comfortable. And if you want space, community, nature, and affordability, Columbia will win you over. Like I say, people come here for that affordability, that cost of housing, that cost of living, all of that, but they stay here for the lifestyle. And so many people are making it their home today. I proved that to you in just showing you the numbers. 203,000 people in 2023 moved here versus people moving out. Again, that's almost a city. So now that you've survived all the reasons not to move here, you can still make this a place back home. And if you're thinking about moving here and making this your home or anywhere in the Midlands, call me, text me, email me. I answer everything myself. It is me. Book a Zoom call. We'll build your custom home together or find you the one that checks every one of your boxes. Hit that like button, drop a comment, tell me which con shocked you the most, and subscribe so you'll never miss another brutally honest breakdown of life right here in the Midlands of South Carolina. And I'll see you guys on the next one.